Greetings, Dr. Raj, the sexologist, the guru of sex from Trinidad. Let's face some facts. There are many individuals out there who goes through an entire lifetime without achieving the sexual satisfaction that they need. And that's factual. Number of factors that can cause that: law, morality, religion, society, self-doubt, not having that confidence to do things, and of course, a guilty conscience. But what do we do as individuals to achieve that level of satisfaction that we all desire? Now, don't get me wrong. It's not only adults. Some of us tend to think that we only start getting sexual feeling when we turn 18 because that's the law. But let's face facts. Children do have sexual feelings, and they do experiment, and they do want to find out about these things and what I can do to feel better or to feel good. So they may look at porn, which is readily available to everyone at any time. They may experiment with themselves or experiment with another. So it is factual that children do have sexual feelings, especially now, where you have young ladies and well, not so much young men maturing at a younger age. But let's deal with the adults. Those of us who are mature mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally, and otherwise, we do have wants and desires and needs. And where does that come from? The largest sex organ that we have, the brain. It starts there. It may be something that you saw when you were younger, something that you heard of, something that you read, that creates an impact on your mind. Or it may best be a feeling or a desire that comes into you and say, I would like to do that. I like to suck a toe. But you have no toes to suck because if you do it to yourself, it's like trying to tickle yourself. But you don't have a partner to do that too, male or female. I'm just using that as an example. I would like to walk in the rain holding someone's hand. But nobody wants to walk with you in the rain because you never ask anyone. But let's take it deeper. I want to experience certain things sexually in order for me to be happy, in order for I to fulfill those wants and needs and desires that I have, the fulfillment of that, to bring myself happiness. How do I go about doing this? Where do I find this? First of all, do I understand myself? Do I know what's happening within me? Do I know my true sexual self? And most of the time we are in denial. We put those things on the back burner and we tell ourselves we should go and pray. But it always pops up. The wants and needs and desires that you have sexually. So no amount of prayer can suppress that. Now, some individual might take it upon themselves to say, hey, I am going to choose a life of celibacy and I'm not going to do those things. That's your choice. But you will need spiritual guidance to do that. But let's talk about the ordinary man and woman who have this desire. But not the ordinary man and woman. Let's talk about those who are in authority, those who are professionals, those who are in the arts and entertainment, those who use their brain for different reasons. Even if you are in the service industry, we all have the needs and want and desire. And how do we fulfill it? First of all, you have to recognize it. What are the needs and wants of myself? And how do I go about fulfilling it? You may need a partner, you may need more than one partner, you may need same-sex person. It doesn't matter what you need, but you have to find that person to help you fulfill the need. The chemistry must be there between you and the person. So you'll find that individuals who are in the arts, especially because they have to use that mental capacity that they have to create, to showcase, to entertain, to make people happy, they themselves need that happiness. So you'll find persons in those arena that I call it encompasses everyone, needs that sexual desire, needs to fulfill it, needs that happiness within themselves to be their full potential. Because not everyone gets their full potential. So what do? We have to find the ways and means to do it. If you cannot find the ways and means to do it, you remain in a state of frustration, depression, sometimes leading to suicide or suicidal thoughts, because you just cannot do it. There's so many individuals who reach out to me and tell me that I have a simple desire to do something simple, to just lie down with somebody and be able to talk to them. But they can't do it because they're even afraid to talk to the opposite sex. And that's real. So if you can't talk to the opposite sex, how are you going to get that satisfaction? And there are those who are in a marriage and other relationship, or whatever you may call it, and they have a desire that the spouse cannot fulfill. And not all of us could fulfill the wants and needs of our spouse. So you may have to seek it out elsewhere. Now, you'll say from a moral standpoint, that is wrong. What Dr. Raj is talking about. Tohon? Infidelity? It's real. People do it all the time. And why do they do it? Because there's a want, a need, and a desire to be fulfilled. There's something that you're seeking to be happy inside of you so that you could have your true potential. And that's what I was talking about. For you to have your full and true potential, you need that sexual satisfaction, even if you are a clerk in a store. Because if you don't have that sexual satisfaction, you will not be able to do your work properly or interact with others in society in a meaningful way. Because you're frustrated. You're depressed. You haven't had that release for years and months. Those who chose a life of celibacy and choose not to engage in those things, that's a choice. But you still have a battle to fight. But the individuals who have expressed and have gotten that level of satisfaction from their partner or partners or same-sex partners or whatever, you'll find they are a much happier bunch of individuals, people, persons. Why? Because they have gotten that level of satisfaction that they need sexually so that their mental capacity increases. They are greater in doing the things that they need to do to entertain you and I. You think the entertainers out there don't need to have that sexual satisfaction? Whether they play the piano, a guitar, sing, dance, recite, tell a story, be a comedian, whatever, they have to have that full level of sexual satisfaction. Otherwise, they cannot do the things that they need to do to make you happy. A person who goes out there and they're not happy within themselves, they have suicidal thoughts, because from frustration leads to depression, leads to suicide. And there are those where they're so weak in mind, body, and spirit that they succumb. But those who have that level of satisfaction and happiness within themselves, they're empowered. You feel a strength from them. You look at them and they look young. You see a radiance within them. You see that person's mind and body is fulfilled. Of course, we have our regular stresses and things that happens during the day. But once you are getting that level of satisfaction from your partner, whether it be a hold, a touch, a kiss, a caress, kinky sex, fetishes, whatever, you need that level of fulfillment. You need that level of accomplishment when it comes to things that are sexual. Otherwise, you will not be a happy person. We all seek happiness, But do you think others give us happiness? No. We have to find happiness within ourselves and get happiness for ourselves. Do the things that are going to make you happy, that are going to empower you, that are going to make you a better individual in whatever you're doing. So if you're in the arts and entertainment, you're a professional person, whatever vocation you may have, you need that level of sexual gratification. If you do not have that level of sexual gratification, you're failed. You failed yourself. Don't look for others to give you that. You have to give it to yourself. But be true to yourself. That's why many individuals will come to me and say, Dr. Raj, this is my situation. This is what I like, but I cannot get it done. And I have to help them. I have to help them to understand it, to overcome it, or to fulfill it. It's not an easy road. But you as an individual have to be true to yourself and find that level of satisfaction that are going to make you a better, more holistic individual to show your true potential. Talk to you soon.